Good morning, my fellow weirdos. Very, very quick little video clip to tell you Congressman Mark Pocan, I think I'm saying that right, Pocan, P-O-C-A-N. He blew the lid off, as they say, four Republican senators when they were doing the confirming, when they're confirming for his cabinet. Four Republican senators changed their votes to voting for him after Maga supporter lunatics threatened those four, and didn't threaten them, threatened their families. So, the Congress people, the Republican Congress people, first, instead of reporting this, instead of investigating it, instead of ignoring them and saying, F you, and keeping your stance, keeping your values, and not switching and saying, okay, we confirm them just because you're threatened and your family's threatened. That's called terrorism. Yeah. So, what is the world going to call them a terrorist organization like they are? I haven't seen anybody really coming out and saying MAGA is a terrorist organization, but it is. If you are threatening your own senators, see, because the senators are the last. First the House votes on something, then the Senate does, on bills and things like that, usually. But Republicans, which is what MAGA is, are threatening their own senators. You better do what dear leader Hitler Trump wants, or we'll lift your family up. That's terrorism. And not only are Republicans terrorists when they feel they need to be to get their way, but the politicians that are Republicans are effing cowards. First, when they would do town halls, if people disagreed with them, maybe we're, getting upset and speaking loudly and forcefully, first they started having them removed when they weren't disrupting. They were upset, not disruptive. Being upset and having somebody yell at you and saying, "What is wrong with you? This is not what we want." That's not disruptive. That's expressing your free speech and how you feel and how upset you are. You yell instead of hitting. That's the point with emotions. When people are upset and they're civil and they just don't want to start punching people because they're wrong, they get upset and they use their voice. Sometimes the voice goes up. Do you get upset with people when they're excited about something and their voices get loud? No, you don't have them removed. When they're shouting, yes, 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 I don't see you removing them. So obviously getting loud is not disruptive. It's just hurts your fifis. So that didn't stop people, their constituents, from going to those town halls and still doing that. So then they just stopped doing town halls because they can't stand being confronted with their own stances on things. Because they have no excuse except that's who I was told to vote for. So the people screaming, "We want free speech," When they have it, they're too scared to effing use it. How do you think a political party that's terrorists and cowards at the same time is going to effectively be able to rule or lead at anything? I mean, they can't lead a scout troop. They could not hold a scout jamboree without a freaking absolute disaster like the festival disasters would be. And it's pathetic. How can you be cowards and terrorists at the same effing time? The ones in the power are cowards, and the ones that don't have the power in the Republicans are terrorists. Threatening you, you better do what we want, or else. You still call this a democracy, Republicans? Or constitutional republic. What the F? Hypocrite, 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 hypocrite. Did you see after the House of Representatives barely squeaked by passing the big, beautiful, bend us all over without dinner bill? It won by one, and it's gone to the Senate. Did you all see that picture? I'll post it in the community post area. It's up on my Facebook political page. Democracy of the Resistance is the name of it. Somebody had put up, but I put hypocrite on each one of them. After they passed that big, horrible, bend us all over bill, theatrically, they all gathered around little teeny Johnson around his hypocritical podium, and they're all praying that it passes the Senate. And I made a little red badge. Yellow says hypocrite on it. And I pasted it over every single fucking person in that picture that I could see somewhere. I couldn't get it in because there were so many little red ovals that said hypocrite on that page. Praying that a bill that takes health care and food, healthcare, 1/5, 1 out of every 5 people in the whole entire country, 1/5 of this country is on Medicaid or Medicare. 1/5. And most of them are children or older people. The older people, we might not be as physically capable anymore, but we have wisdom. We have a lot of experience coming from us. And of course, children, they're the future. If you just let the Republicans are already letting them just get killed at school. Now they want to kill them before they get to school by not letting them have health care or a SNAP. So we'll take their food away, and we'll take their health care away, and if they actually make it to elementary school, they can play hide and seek with bullets. Tell me how much Republicans love the children. That 1 out of 5 of the children, or the older people mostly, are having, that's what they're praying for. Oh, what kind of God do they pray for? Oh, dear Lord, please let this bill get through. Please. So all the rich people can get all that much richer, and we can take all of that from the poor people. Please, God, let that pass. Do you understand? Saying, oh, we prayed for the passage of it because we believe. Do you know what they've snuck in there? One thing they snuck in, you've probably heard recently, is because a lot of these were finished written snuck in the middle of the night, and like 4 hours later, you were supposed to vote on it. How are they supposed to scour 1,000 effing pages and catch every fucking line that you snuck in there before the vote? And you know that. One of the things they have in there, is we can't, any political official cannot be charged with contempt of court by a judge. Fuck that! So they could just go in there and do whatever the fuck they want in a judge's courtroom, and it doesn't matter? No. Or just ignore what a judge says, which is what they're doing about the deportations and everything else, the education, everything they're doing that judges have said stop. They either said reverse it or stop until we see what's happening here. And they're ignoring it. That's why they slipped that in. Do you know the other thing? One of the other things that they slipped in? AI cannot be regulated for 10 years. Gee, why is that? Maybe because, one of the reasons might be, let's see, face recognition, which is like the step before AI, kinda, that's prejudiced and bigoted because it does screw up people of color and say that's when it's not. And it has been known to F up females. Get wrong indications. If a guy has long hair, it's tagged as a female. I don't think that was accidental. I don't think that was just one of the glitches. Oh, well, dark faces are harder to recognize. My ass, they are. For technology that goes down to a nanosecond and a nanometer. I mean, seriously. And we're supposed to just believe that? I never believed it. My attitude was, if it's so great, why doesn't it know? And I have the same concerns about AI because they keep saying, oh, we don't want to replace AI with musicians and artists and writers because we don't have to really pay AI. So we'll just mine all the artists and the musicians and the writers for 10 years and mine all the shit that we see out there and make it my own. And thus no rules. So after a decade, all of our fucking work, that our body of work has been scrounged through by AI. Fuck no. And that's just the arts. I thought it was supposed to be doing grunt work. I thought it was supposed to be doing the technical, the boring shit. So we get the answer and you can just do the creating as a human. But you're having AI create. That's not assisting. That's a HAL. That's a HAL computer. That is not assisting. That's taking the lead and expecting the humans to follow. And I say, fuck that. Why don't you want regulations for 10 years? That's just two of the things they slipped in. Think what those two things could do. How much chaos just those two things can cause in people's lives if they go the wrong way. Which, if you don't want oversight, you obviously are going to be using it for ill gains or ill reasons. And we're just stupid. Okay, sounds fair. You need a decade to get shit going. No, and fucking no. Have a great weekend. Sorry, but I'm not okay with them praying to kill people. Dear Lord, please let us get this bill through so we can kill more people. Sounds like a Satanist religion to me, not a Christian religion. What God are you praying to? Satan? I'm only asking questions. Isn't that Tucker Carlson? I'm just asking questions. Even the personality traits have evil in them. Seriously. I am asking questions. I'm seriously asking questions. Why did you slip those provisions in? The AI one in the courts? Why'd you do that? I haven't heard any Democrats complaining about those things. Maybe because you know you're wrong and you want permission to be evil. Not on my watch. Not on my fucking watch, Republicans. And yes, Maga is a terrorist organization. If you're threatening the lives of politicians' families in order to make them vote for your cult leader, that's a terrorist organization. And every country should be acknowledging MAGA is a terrorist organization, because only terrorists use violence and the threat of violence to get you to do what they want. And that's what the supporters are doing. It's what they did when they attacked Pelosi's husband. That's what they did when they attacked our Capitol. That's what they are. They're spoiled children with anger issues that when they don't get their way, they bully you with violent tactics. That, my friends, is a terrorist.